Car recalls from both Tesla and the Chrysler Jeep brand are underway. We have details on what it means for auto owners and the companies. It is Wednesday, June 19th. Welcome to Lunch Break. I'm Wendy Bounds. Here with the details of these recalls is Christina Rogers. She is one of the Wall Street Journal's auto reporters based in Detroit. Christina, thanks for being here. I want to start with Tesla. There's apparently a problem with the seats, a seat latch that engineers have discovered in certain models. What do you know about the problem?
Well, the problem basically affects the mounting bracket for the rear seat on the left-hand side. Tesla says that this mounting bracket is a little weaker than they had wanted, and basically they discovered in their internal quality test that it could come loose in certain crashes. So they're taking upon it themselves to recall these vehicles to fix the problem.
And they're not that many of the vehicles, about 260 of the vehicles, I understand, that were manufactured between May 10th and June 8th. It reminds me, Christina, it sounds like they're being very proactive. It reminds me a little bit about how Lexus many years ago handled some problems of its own when it discovered some issues with its cars.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Tesla, it's a new company. You know, it's really trying to kind of build its relationship with its customers. And, you know, in this situation, just want to get out in front of it. Elon Musk, the CEO, he, tweeted and blogged about the issue. And they're going to make it very easy for their customers. They're going to notify them and then go pick up their vehicles where they're located, give them a loaner, and then have their vehicles back. They're saying within a couple hours.
That's customer service right there. And of course, Lexus, as we were talking about
right.
before, they did sort of the same thing, even filling people's gas tanks up after they had fixed the problems. Let's move on to Chrysler and Jeep. I mean, there's a much bigger range of cars at stake here with the Jeep brand. And this was a recall that Chrysler had originally pushed back against, Christina. So what's the issue with the Jeep Grand Cherokee cars?
Well, the issue is regarding the fuel tanks. They're placed behind the rear axle on these particular models. Now, these are older Jeep models spanning about 1993 to 2007. And NHTSA has said that, based on their data, the placement in the rear makes them more vulnerable to rupture and fuel leakage in rear-end crashes. These vehicles, NHTSA has connected to 51 deaths resulting from fiery rear-end crashes, and they did ask Chrysler to recall the vehicles.
And Chrysler had been pushing back against this recall. I mean, at this point, it's about 1.56 million vehicles at stake, Christina. What do you think has changed their mind? I know that in your reporting, you sort of have mentioned a particular crash and a death that happened recently. Tell us about that.
Well, I think that Chrysler, they're looking at kind of the cost-benefit equation here. They basically struck a deal with, or compromise with NHTSA. Now, NHTSA had originally asked them to recall 2.7 million vehicles. So they're recalling about 1 million fewer vehicles than NHTSA had asked. But, from Chrysler's point of view, a recall fighting this recall could have been a long battle. It would have attracted a lot of media coverage. And, it's the kind of situation where it could hurt their image in the long run. On NHTSA's end, NHTSA kind of wants these vehicles off the road. So really, this is a compromise. But it still isn't clear what exactly changed their mind. But it just, yesterday it was kind of late in the afternoon, they came to this agreement and they announced that they would do this recall.
All right, and I know we had seen a driver of 193 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo who was killed in Houston when his stalled vehicle was struck behind by a Dodge Ram tow truck. The vehicle caught on fire, but it's unclear whether the person died from the fire, I suppose, or from just the sheer impact of it. But nonetheless, these accidents, they play hard out there with consumers. All right, Christina, thanks so much.
Right.
Appreciate your analysis.